The Book of the Damned, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 49. Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, Volume 20, page 100. Standotter, February, 1762, Lichtenberg, November 19, 1762, Hoffman, May, 1764, Dangos, January 18, 1798, Stark, February 12, 1820. An observation by Schmidt, October 11, 1847, is said to be doubtful. But, upon page 192, it is said that this doubt had arisen because of a mistaken translation, and two other observations by Schmidt are given. October 14, 1849, and February 18, 1850. Also an observation by Loft, January 6, 1818. Observation by Steinigel, at Vienna, April 27, 1820. Monthly Notices, 1862. Haas had collected reports of 20 observations like Lecardot's. The list was published in 1872 by Wolf. Also there are other instances like Gruthinson's American Journal of Science, Series 2, Volume 28, page 446. Report by Pastrov that he had seen twice in 1836, and once in 1837, two round spots of an equal size moving across the Sun, changing position relatively to each other, and taking a different course, if not orbit, each time. That, in 1834, he had seen similar bodies pass 6 times across the disk of the Sun, looking very much like Mercury in his transits. March 22, 1876. But to point out Levier's poverty-stricken average, or discovering planets upon a 50% basis, would be to point out the low percentage of realness in the quasi-myth stuff of which a whole system is composed. We do not accuse the textbooks of omitting this fiasco, but we do note that theirs is the conventional adaptation here of all beguilers who are in difficulties. The diverting of attention. It wouldn't be possible in the real existence, with real mentality, to deal with, but I suppose it's good enough for the quasi-intellects that stupefy themselves with textbooks. The trick here is to gloss over Levier's mistake, and blame Lecardot. He was only an amateur, had delusions. The reader's attention is led against Lecardot by report from Monsieur Liaz, director of the Brazilian Coast Survey, who, at the time of Lecardot's supposed observation, had been watching the Sun in Brazil, and, instead of seeing even ordinary sunspots, had noted that the region of the supposed transit was of uniform intensity. But the meaninglessness of all utterances in quasi-existence, uniform intensity, turns our way as much as against us, or someday some brain will conceive a way of beating Newton's third law if every reaction, or resistance, is, or can be, interpretable as stimulus instead of resistance. If this could be done in mechanics, there's a way open here for someone to own the world, specifically in this matter. Uniform intensity means that Lecardot saw no ordinary sunspot, just as much as it means that no spot at all was seen upon the Sun. Continuing the interpretation of the resistance as an assistance, which can always be done with mental forces, making us wonder what applications could be made of steam and electric forces, we point out that invisibility in Brazil means parallax quite as truly as it means absence, and, inasmuch as Vulcan was supposed to be distant from the Sun, we interpret denial as corroboration, method of course of every scientist, politician, theologian, high school debater,